A man asked me for coffee today after work, and I politely told him no, and then brought myself to McAllister's, where I got this croissant, this grilled chicken sandwich, and an entire bowl of broccoli cheddar soup and a Dr. Pepper for under $25. Now, I'm not going to argue with you about how you like to date, just like I don't want you to argue with me about how I like to date. But coffee is never going to be an option for me. And just like I respect your choice to coffee, respect mine to not coffee.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
You are a 4 at best.
Yeah. You can't make this shit up, people. You cannot make this shit up.
What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Rome, back with another video. If you're new to the platform, welcome to the tribe. By the end of this video, hope you subscribe. So we got a young lady here who is going viral over the coffee date conversation. Yes, this conversation has come back around again to this woman going viral. And we're going to hear what she had to say, because she actually did a response into everybody else roasting her because, well, of the obvious, if you didn't notice from the intro that I just showed you. But anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it.
A man asked me for coffee today after work, and I politely told him no, and then brought myself to McAllister's, where I got this croissant, this grilled chicken sandwich, and an entire bowl of broccoli cheddar soup and a Dr. Pepper for under $25. Now, I'm not going to argue with you about how you like to date, just like I don't want you to argue with me about how I like to date. But coffee is never going to be an option for me. And just like I respect your choice to coffee, respect mine to not coffee.
Social media really got a lot of y'all portraying yourselves online in a way that you would never portray yourself in real life, because you know that's not who you really are. Some women gotta be very, very grateful that someone even asked them on a date. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I don't believe that anybody asked her on a coffee date at all. I'm trying to figure out, why am I seeing so many videos of women against coffee dates? I can almost put money on it that she in particular does not get asked out on dates often. I think a lot of women get online and make videos like that because they want to brag. Oh my God, a guy actually asked me out. Let me go online and tell everybody, like, girl, if you get asked out a lot, or if guys approach you a lot and you know you're used to saying no, that's not a conversation to have online. But when you're not always being approached, get online and brag like, oh my God, someone asked me on a coffee date. Girl, be happy somebody asked you out, because the comments already ripping you a new asshole. Be for real.
You know what? She actually makes a very valid point. I never really thought about that. Yeah, if you were a woman that really got approached a lot and asked out a lot, I don't think you would have went out of your way to make this video. This would have just been a Tuesday for you. You know what I mean? Type shit. And ladies, you can add this to the list of reasons why men aren't really asking y'all out anymore, because then y'all want to turn around and make hit pieces like this. What if the man that asked her out was to catch wind of this video because it went viral? You never know. Somebody might recognize her from this job and send it back to him, and then he over here like, damn, this woman talking shit about me. See, y'all don't stop and think about that. And I'm thinking about doing a video on that, because I came across a very interesting video where another valid point was made. Because for women to think that men are so dangerous, y'all ain't got no problem coming on this here internet and talking like this. But anyway, let's keep it moving. That's another topic for another day.
A man asked me for coffee today after work, and I politely told him no, and then
I'll be completely honest. I didn't think we was going to start out like that.
brought myself to McAllister's, where I got this croissant, this grilled chicken sandwich, and an entire bowl of broccoli cheddar soup and a Dr. Pepper for under $25.
All you had to tell them was you wanted to go to McAllister's and get a croissant, broccoli cheddar soup, a Dr. Pepper, and something else for under $25. If you was hungry, you should have just said that. You should have said, hey, maybe not the coffee, because I don't really want coffee, but I am kind of hungry, and I would like to go to McAllister's. I was going to go there regardless. If you would like to join me, that would be great. If not, I fully understand. You see how different of an approach that was, right? Instead of taking the approach you took. It's called being proactive. It's called actively trying to find a solution to something you may deem as an issue. But of course not. You wouldn't be proactive, because why would you, right? It's just like, why?
Now, I'm not going to argue with you about how you like to date, just like I don't want you to argue with me about how I like to date. But Coffee is never going to be an option for me.
Yes, you made that apparent earlier in the video. It's not coffee. You wanted more food. Why didn't you just say that? You could have easily just told him, hey, I don't want coffee. I'd rather have something to eat, like you typically do. Right? People eat, is what I mean. And in a week's time, after she enjoys her $25 worth of food at McAllister's, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a video eventually talking about how men don't like to take women out on dates and what happened to all the real men and how she can't get a date. Pattern recognition is all starting to look the same to me. So it's almost like you can tell the future, but it's not that. It's just, you just see so much of the same shit. And you're just like, wait a minute, I've seen this before. I've seen women say this very thing and then months later say something completely different. You know what? But you know what? You ain't got to listen to me. I'm just a normal guy. Don't mind me. Yeah, keep the change.
Out of all the languages in the world, he decided to choose to speak facts. But I'm telling you, no, that just makes too much sense. I'm sorry, it doesn't, man. And plus, I understand the way women think, bro. They see us as the problem solvers and the problem solvers only, not them. So in their mind, they want us to read their mind and assume that we should take it to that next level. But I agree with 100% with what he said. Well, if that's where you wanted to go and you was hungry anyway, why not just suggest that? He probably would have been cool with it. You know what I'm saying? He probably wasn't. Maybe he wanted to do that because he wasn't that hungry at the moment. You feel me? Like, come on, man. Like, let's cut that out, because I just realized the whole situation, because she's talking about a woman. This woman is talking about a man at work. So it seems like it was kind of like on the spot, last minute type of situation. And she just declined, as opposed to like asking somebody out for a future date. Like, you know what I mean? Which is two completely different things. So I just wanted to get that out. I just wanted to throw some reference to that so that doesn't get forgotten.
A man asked me for coffee today after work, and I politely told him no, then brought myself to McAllister's, where I got this croissant, this grilled chicken sandwich, and an entire bowl of broccoli cheddar soup and a Dr. Pepper for under $25. Now, I'm not going to argue with you about how you like to date, just like I don't want you to argue with me about how I like to date. But coffee is never going to be an option for me. And just like I respect your choice to coffee, respect mine to not coffee.
So here's my thing, and this is no shade to you. This is no shade to you, okay? And like, I've seen the comments, I've seen other people make videos about this and third and this, and even another woman, she made a video basically saying like she thinks you lied about the whole thing, and then another woman made a video on her talking about these are the women that are picking this, that, and the third, right? Basically made a video saying that you declined a man for coffee, but then you decide to show that you took yourself out to eat on a date at a place that's not coffee, right? In my mind, my initial thing is, if you don't like coffee, why didn't you just tell the man, hey, I'm not really a coffee person, but we can definitely do something else if you're up to that. So to me, you not doing that just means that, one, you didn't like the man enough to want to go on a date with him, or two, you just wanted to come on the internet and just talk your shit on some real shit. Talk about what men again yet are doing that you just don't like. Because if a man asks me on a coffee date or something that I genuinely don't like, I'm not gonna get on the internet and be like, a man did this today and I don't like this and da 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 da. I would have had the conversation with the man and been like, you know what? I appreciate you asking me for that, but that's just not what I initially do. But maybe if you were into this, that we could probably do this instead. Or for me, honestly, I don't drink coffee like that, for real. So like, if a man asks me on a coffee date, exactly what I said, I would tell him, hey, I'm not really a coffee drinker, but if you're down to like maybe go somewhere maybe in between the middle that maybe has tea and coffee and some like, whatever else it may be, I'll be down for that. That's exactly why I don't believe a lot of women when they come on the internet and spew the type of conversations that they think they had in real life. Not saying that she lied, but it just makes it very hard to believe that these are the type of conversations that women are having in real life. Because one, why did you have to bring this to the internet? Well, about something that you didn't do with a man. Again, this is where I say a lot of you women love just coming on the internet, spewing shit about men, but yet you don't want men. You don't like men. It doesn't make sense. You could have easily just left out the fact that this man asked you on a coffee date. And you could have easily just said, you know what, I took myself to McAllister's today and this is what I got underneath $25. But y'all just had to insert the fact that a man asked you on a coffee date and it didn't work for you and instead you took yourself out on a date. Why did you need to insert all that shit? That's what I just want to know. Why did you need to insert all that shit? This is when I know that some of y'all love to just come on the internet and say things because you want the external validation of other women being like, girl, as you should. Don't lower your standards. Don't do this, that, and the third. And it's very telling what type of women do this on a day-to-day basis on the internet. Sorry, but this to me just showed me that you just needed external validation from other women. That's all it is to me. You just need external validation from other women to make it seem like, oh, you didn't lower your standards, right? Oh, you didn't you can get a date, but you get to choose, right? Because to me, when women do this, it makes it seem like somewhere, shape, or form in your life, you've never been chosen. And now all of a sudden, when you pay attention to other women and how they move, especially when it comes to social media, y'all are fucking bird brains. Y'all follow each and everything that another woman says on here because again, y'all trauma bond more than you trauma bond with niggas on some real shit. So I just peeped it. I just peeped it the minute I watched the video because it just made sense on like, you just needed to talk shit about men. It wasn't even had nothing to do about a man asking you on a coffee date. You just wanted to talk shit about men because you wanted to get that external validation yet again from other women on the internet who like to talk shit about men based off of their own trauma. And it just, listen, I peeped the whole thing. Y'all can call me a pick me, y'all can call me whatever the fuck you want, but I peeped the whole fucking thing. A lot of you women do this on a day-to-day basis when it comes on this app, when it comes to the internet in general, right? Because you could have easily just said, you know what, guys, I took myself out on a date today and I went to McAllister's and got me, you know, this little croissant and this fucking soup and this, that, and the third. But instead, you had to make sure that people knew that a man asked you out on a coffee date and it did work for you. But my thing is that you just took yourself out on the date. Why didn't you ask that dude to be like, hey, I'm going to McAllister's. Do you want to join?
And this woman asked a great question, and it really had me thinking, and it made me realize when, like, I really paid attention to what this woman was like. Well, I think at least in my opinion, what I think she was harping on. Because when she went out of her way to say, I went here to McAllister's and got me this, and this for under $25, which by the way makes me not miss America, because I probably could have got all those same items where I'm at now for half the price. But I digress. I think the reason why she was trying to throw that in there, because that was her way of saying, like, hey, you know, you could have just did this for me instead, and, you know, still only would have spent X amount of dollars instead of trying to get off of only spending $5-10 at a coffee date. I think that is the approach, in my opinion, if I'm trying to dissect exactly why she would throw that in there, because I found that very interesting that she went out of her way to say exactly how much it costs for her to spend, the amount that it costs for her food. I just found that very interesting. But I think that's why she was trying to bring attention to it, in my opinion, if I'm taking an educated guess. But let's keep it moving.
Biggie had two baddies fighting over him and eating his. A man asked me for coffee today after work, and I politely told him no, and then brought myself to McAllister's, where I got this croissant, this grilled chicken sandwich, and an entire bowl of broccoli cheddar soup and a Dr. Pepper for under $25. Now, I'm not going to argue with you about how you like to date, just like I don't want you to argue with me about how I like to date. But it's never going to be an option for me. And just like I respect your choice to coffee, respect mine to not coffee.
And if you know me, you know I had an opinion on this. Let me tell you exactly why I think that she didn't do anything wrong. In my opinion, when that random guy asked her out, he was looking for something quick, cheap, and easy. No effort. Same thing as when guys are like, oh, you trying to link, you trying to chill, let's go do something. And they suggest something so simple and basic. And I totally get it from the male's perspective. It's something quick, cheap, and easy to go ahead and get to know this person to see if you want to move on with them or not. You don't want to go ahead and spend money on a dinner. You don't want to spend money on taking her out to try to get to know her any better, because most times you guys probably don't have that type of money. Or if you do have the money, you're like, she's not worth me spending all of that just to get to know her. So if you truly feel that way, you shouldn't be asking her out at all. Now, me personally, I don't like coffee dates or no ice cream date until we're already together and we're able to do simple things like that. Because me, I'm a dancer, I'm in college, and I'm also a single mother to a toddler. I don't have a lot of free time, but when I do get my free time, I take myself out to nice restaurants. I go shopping for nice things. I go to do nice experiences. So if I'm going to be in your company, I don't want to have to be settling on doing something that I could be doing at home. Also, Shira Seven said the same exact thing, and you guys clapped and praised her. And is it because Shira Seven has been teaching you guys on how to manipulate men and she's pretty much in with you guys by now? Or is it because Shira Seven is lighter skinned and quote unquote attractive? Because what was wrong with that girl besides her size? All of you guys want to be so positive and like, oh, no guy asked her that because she looks like how she looks. Honestly, just because you don't find someone attractive doesn't mean that they're not attractive. From what I heard, apparently all the guys want a cutie patootie and not a baddie, because the cutie patootie is more wifeable. So, because she's not a baddie, y'all don't want her now? Also, what it tells me is that you're settling for that girl because she'll accept something cheaper. But she said, you know what? No, I don't want something cheap and simple like that. I have higher boundaries and standards. That everyone's sitting here trying to humble her, like, girl, do you know what you look like? Oh my gosh, you shouldn't have any standards. You should be thankful that someone asked you out. So truly, people are really threatened that she had standards and they thought, oh my gosh, you're not the actual beauty standard and you have morals and standards and you're not just gonna go for anything. Oh,
came on the internet and said that she was invited out by a male co-worker to go have coffee after work. She said she declined it because she doesn't do coffee dates, and instead she went to a restaurant, got her little sandwich set up. And now the reason she said she declined the coffee date is because she feels basically it's a low effort date and she does not want to go on a coffee date with anybody. As the internet works, a lot of people are having a lot of mixed reactions to her making her standards known on the internet. Few of the main reasons that I'm seeing are, number one, they feel like, why is coffee date not an acceptable date, especially if you're just now getting to know somebody. And just because someone's sitting down to have coffee doesn't mean it's low effort. It just means we want to get to know somebody without a high expectancy of it becoming this whole thing. Second reason people are upset is because they feel like she is not attractive enough to have these type of standards, much less tell the internet that she has these type of standards. Basically, if you don't look like a certain way, they think that you need to be quiet and or you need to lower your standard. Now, here are my thoughts on this. Okay, so in regards to women declining coffee dates, that is their standard for their dating life. If they do not want to go on a coffee date, why are y'all so upset about it? Y'all are not dating them, okay? There are plenty women that will go on coffee dates and will enjoy a coffee date and will have no problem meeting you for a quick little brunch, a quick little, oh, you want to grab coffee at this really cute restaurant? They will have no problem with that. Why are y'all so gung-ho on beating women down into submission to say, no, every woman needs to accept coffee dates? No, go find you a coffee date woman. They're out there. They exist. What is so wrong with this lady saying, no, I don't want to do a coffee date? That brings us to the second point, where people are saying you're not even conventionally attractive enough to have this point. I will say looks will play a part in the way that you're received on the internet. However, anytime any woman comes on the internet and says, these are my standards for dating, attractive, conventionally attractive, or unconventionally attractive, is going to have a negative reaction every single time, no matter if they are drop dead gorgeous, right? The reaction is going to vary, but they're still going to have a visceral reaction. I've seen it time and time again. I've seen it when models come out and spoken out. I've seen it when like influencers come out and speaking out. And these are like women that are like gorgeous. And men are in the comments like, oh, well, these women, you're still just a bird, right? Like anytime any woman comes on here and says, hey, these are what I expect from a man, the men gonna be upset. And women too, because I've seen a lot of women coming from her neck.
And just like I expected, it always comes down to the dollar. It always comes to the money, don't it? Don't you find it funny that the same women that'll sit over here and tell you flat out in your face, if a woman is demanding all of this over you, she don't really like you like that for real, but then at the same time, they'll sit over here and demand it from you anyway. I just find that funny. Like, you, on one hand, you say, hey, if you a man and you got to lead with your wallet, then those women don't really like you. But then on the other hand, we got women over here talking like this. And what I find interesting is that I would not be shocked if these are the same women that'll sit over here and shame a man who actually got his shit together and is childless and wants a childless woman. I guarantee you, these same women that are over here trying to cape for this woman and have her back on this whole coffee date conversation, I guarantee you, if you told them that you will disqualify women because they have children, they will give you all hell for it. Which is kind of ironic, ain't it? Because basically what they're telling you is that you wanting to start your own family is less important than them having more than a coffee date as the first date. And I would not be shocked if there were women out there that think like that, bro. You shouldn't be either, but let's keep it moving.
I've said this numerous of times, and it's always rang true. A lot of women today don't know how to date. And this is why they go through a revolving door of men after men after men, and then all niggas ain't shit. And I say that to say because I see the discussion around having a coffee date. And women saying, that's not for me, that's low effort, that's low this, low that, that's what you did. I don't care what y'all talking about. The lady that recently sparked that coffee date conversation, because these are discussions that's been had for a long time, she'd be lucky if anybody asked her for directions. She'd be lucky if anybody asked her for directions. But now you don't do coffee dates. Now, I'm not saying you have to, but I'm saying a lot of y'all don't know how to date. There's this romanticized idea of how much money he needs to spend, where he needs to take you, all these things to legitimize it as a date, opposed to looking at it as, okay, it's low pressure, you're safe, because most of the time a coffee date would be during the daytime. Low expectations. He can't expect nothing from you. You sure can't expect nothing from him. You're not committed to getting dressed and putting on your finest and doing all the things, the full theater that you would do if it's a dinner date. It's a nice icebreaker. It's simple, right? And through the coffee date, he could get to figure out if he like you. You could get to figure out if you like him, and it could go anywhere or it could go nowhere, right? Opposed to committing. How many times, ladies, the ones that are dating, how many times have you gone on a date with a man and realized quickly he's an idiot, but you already committed the outfit, you already committed the night, you already committed yourself to this date, so now you got to go through it, and now you suffering through that shit. Like, let's be real. Like, I don't get it. I remember when I worked downtown Brooklyn when I lived in New York. And if you know downtown Brooklyn, you know there's the fire chief department over there. There's City College. There's all the courts. There's a Chase head office over there. There's Con Edison. There's all types of, major companies that is there. So you could be walking to the halal spot to get a gyro or something, and you talking to a judge, or you talking to a lawyer, or you talking to a doctor, because there's a bunch of medical centers down there too. This person is in charge of the NICU or something. Like, you never know. And I've seen people on cute, coffee date, whether it's at Panera Bread or wherever. And I don't know, because I know because of the environment, she's probably making good money and he's probably making good money. Both of these people are on a coffee date, whether it's during their lunch break or after work. Like, once again, I'm seeing single women telling other single women not to take coffee dates, and men cosplaying as women telling other single women not to take coffee dates. This shit is, I'm so glad I'm not in this dating pool. I'm so glad I'm out of this. And strategically, I've always dated with a purpose. I wasn't in the pool very long anyway, but to say no to a coffee date, especially if you can gauge the pedigree of the man, whew.
Yeah, that's because they don't think that way. They're not concerned about a man's pockets. They're not concerned whatsoever. If anything, they're more concerned about what's the most they can get out of a man, whether they like him or not. Because in their mind, they're thinking, well, at least I got this up out of him, even though it didn't work out. As opposed to, damn, I wasted my time on that and I didn't get anything out of it. I'm like that. Women today have a very selfish mindset. You cannot tell me otherwise. Otherwise, this would not even be a conversation. Because that's what it really comes down to. Because why would you demand so much on the first date, but then the moment a man want to come to you talking about clapping some cheeks, then all of a sudden y'all want to feel the type of way. Y'all are the ones that are making dating look transactional by talking like this in the first place. And then when you see a woman like this who actually got some damn common sense when it comes to this whole conversation, notice she's spoken for, notice she's not on the dating market. Funny how that works. The women that are on the dating market seem to be the ones that talk like this the most. Anyway, we're going to see what her buckethead ass had to say.
Biggie had two baddies fighting over him and eating his groceries. And for some reason, men seem to think that I can't find a man that's willing to take me for coffee. And I notice anytime that I post anything about dating, especially on this app, the number one comment that I get is because I'm fat and ugly, that I should be willing to settle for whatever a man is willing to offer me, right? And I always find that interesting because it almost feels like they have this assumption that any man who's trying to date me has never seen me before. And what I noticed from that comment section is a lot of people like coffee dates or ice cream dates or whatever the case may be, because it's low effort, low commitment, low risk. And for the men, it's cost effective, right? And a lot of people were trying to compare it to a job interview, right? And I think the part that they are skipping with the job interview is after you submit your resume and the application, if you are deemed worthy, what happens? You get the phone interview. After the phone interview, if the employer deems you worthy enough, then they will invest the resources to fly you out for an in-person job interview. And I feel like a lot of y'all are skipping that step. I feel like a lot of y'all will meet somebody on a dating app on a Wednesday, and by Thursday you are trying to go get coffee, which is why y'all want the low risk, low commitment, cost effective dates, because y'all are not taking the time to have the phone interview. I don't know about anybody else, but for me, my first time having a meaningful conversation with somebody is not going to be the first date.
Bruh.
Man, comparing yourself to Biggie Smalls, that's just.
This is filthy work.
And with all due respect,
You are a 4 at best.
And you over there built like.
Get the French toast out of here.
Y'all let me know what you thought about this. If you're new to the platform, please subscribe. OGs, I appreciate the love and support. Make sure y'all hit that bell notification. That way y'all know what I'm uploading. Hit the like button because that helps with the algorithm and helps to reach a broader audience. Also look out for the travel vlog channel as well as the live show channel. Both links are in the description. Until the next video, y'all. Deuces.